This is Lifeline for Liberty, where silence ends. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. Right now, we're going to be talking about the ICE facility that was shot at, which had 3 people injured, and so far only 1 died. They're trying to claim that he was a white nationalist, specifically targeting the detainees, and it's not just these leftist losers on social media. Even after all the details have been released, there are still some peddling that this is a white nationalist, a MAGA Republican. You got videos like this popping up all over social media.
So we have an update on the mass shooting at the ICE detention facility in Dallas. The shooter was specifically targeting detainees. At this point, it has been confirmed that 2 of the detainees have been unalived and 1 of them is in critical conditions. Now, the shooter was a white male. He unalived himself apparently from a self-inflicted wound. And according to local reports, his specific target was the detainees, not ICE officers. So this does appear to be a right-wing extremist terrorist attack on defenseless people who were already being detained and most likely deported as it was. But apparently that was not good enough justice for this guy. He had to take the law into his own hands and unalive these.
Today it all falls apart. It all collapses, as now U.S. Attorney Larson herself has read out loud to the public the shooter's own handwritten notes. It's now official from law enforcement. It's on the record. We know this monster's motives directly from the source, and it's exactly what we've been saying since the very beginning. This was a left-wing act of terror planned, that was targeted, and that was motivated by the same radical leftists. Rhetoric that we see all over social media, in the universities and online spaces, and of course coming from the mainstream media. There's no confusion. Let me show you guys what's going on. Here as U.S. Attorney Larson giving us all the facts.
Shortly thereafter, the FBI began its meticulous work at the crime scene. At the same time, we obtained and executed multiple search warrants yesterday for devices and locations associated with the sniper. FBI agents executed a search warrant at the sniper's residence yesterday and there found a collection of notes. First, I want to point out that one of these notes or papers, the sniper explicitly states, "Yes, it was just me." That statement appears to be correct at this point in the investigation. Notably, these loose notes included a game plan of the attack and target areas at the facility. He called the ICE employees people showing up to collect a dirty paycheck. He wrote that he intended to maximize lethality against ICE personnel and to maximize property damage at the facility. He hoped to minimize any collateral damage or injury to the detainees and any other innocent people. It seems that he did not intend to kill the detainees or harm them. It's clear from these notes that he was targeting ICE agents and ICE personnel. The tragic irony for his evil plot here is that it was a detainee who was killed and 2 other detainees that were injured when he fired into the Sally Port. He also hoped his actions would give ICE agents real terror of being gunned down, and he did this to induce constant stress in their lives. He hoped his actions would terrorize ICE employees and interfere with their work, which he called human trafficking.
So there you have it, the acting U.S. attorney laying out the facts. This was planned, it was targeted, and it was ideological violence. The notes are explicit. He calls ICE agents people showing up to collect a dirty paycheck. He spelled out his goal as being maximum lethality against ICE personnel, claiming that he wanted to terrorize them and, quote, that he hoped to minimize any collateral damage or injury to the detainees or any innocent people. In other words, when they left, was suggesting, oh well, he shot the detainees, therefore he's probably a MAGA Republican. Well, that talking point ends today. No, he was just a bad shot. And of course, we learned that yesterday from the shooter's brother Noah, who specifically said that he's not a marksman and that he would not be able to make any shots like that. He was significantly far away from the facility, and so obviously the simplest explanation was that he simply was not a trained sniper, and so he couldn't make those shots into a crowd, targeting specific individuals. But of course, that won't stop the left from peddling misinformation.
So we don't know if this shooter was actually targeting the detainees who were shot or ICE officials.
We don't know because of the way it described the way in which the suspected shooter shot at this building, but the
way that they just gaslight everyone, even though we have all this information and this facts, they still come out and try to spin it as a white nationalist, a MAGA Republican. But we all know that is not the truth. It all came from a radical left-wing activist. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. If you like what you saw, give a like and subscribe. Give me any feedback on how to better myself.